All right, so we're back. Sorry, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Sorry, we got a little late start with some technical difficulties. If you are tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, hashtag I'm outside, let's argue. Go ahead and drop that into the chat window. And today's topic is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he's not around? And then I'm gonna add something to that. Is that a two-way street? Is that a two-way street? That's what I want to know. Is that a two-way street? What do you think? Do you think is that a two-way street? Is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around? And is that a two-way street? So again, we play games on the show that are inspired by Black game artists. We're going to stick with Lyrically Correct. So this is basically there is oldies but goodies. And this one's a little tough for most of the audience. So that's why I want to stick with this one because I look like everybody was guessing the 80s and the 90s. So I wanted this one's a little different. This is the oldies but goodies. So that means you got to dust off your daddy's records, your mama's records, and guess these ones right here. Okay. So is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around? And I'm going to add something to that. Is that a two-way street? What do you think? Is it a two-way street? Do you think that is something that men ought to take ownership of as well? Don't forget, if you're tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, hashtag I'm outside, let's argue. Go ahead and drop that into the chat window. Let me know. I want to get your thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. Is that a two-way street? Don't forget, so we do have flags on the table, so we like to try to keep it fun and interesting. If you are in the building, whether you're at home or you're in the studio, go ahead and raise the black flag for me. Go ahead and raise that. If it's something that I say or something another person says, making a comment, and whether they're in the room or in the virtual studio and you don't like it, I want you to put your black flag up. Go ahead and put the red flag. And if you want to make a comment, whether in the virtual room or you want to come into the virtual studio or you're in the studio audience, go ahead and raise the green flag and we'll get you up here on stage with me and you can make your comment. Hashtag I'm outside, let's argue. Go ahead and drop that into the chat window. So that's the subject. Is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around? What are your thoughts on that? That's what I want to know. And we're going to keep with last week's conversation, which I got a lot of people kind of going. Who's worse when they're sick, men or women? Of course, the lady is going to claim that the men are big babies. We can't function when we get sick, and we just can't do nothing for ourselves when we get sick. I got a little help today because I think I got a male perspective in the room, and I'm gonna pay you now. So I need you to be I need to make sure you're on our side. No, but I definitely want everybody's unbiased opinion. Let me know what you think. Is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around? And I want to know, is that a two-way street? Does that door swing both ways? I would say, yeah, probably even more so for the men, because I think because men get I don't want to say such a bad rap, but women, we are always kind of, niggas ain't this, they do X, Y, and Z. So I think it's probably even more so for us that we need to represent ourselves well when our mate is not around, because of the rep that we get. Not all of us, some of us, and sometimes it's not all men are the same. So I just think it's probably even more for us that we represent ourselves well when we're not in the presence of our significant other. So here's a question I want to ask. Say you're in a relationship, a committed relationship, and you hanging out with the fellas or you hanging out with the ladies. Is it okay to have some innocent flirtation? Is it okay? Is that Is that wrong? Is that a line that you cross? So say a guy sends you a drink as a lady, and you're in a bar, and the guy sends you a drink, and y'all start striking up a conversation. Should you not take that drink? Should you not have that conversation? Like what is there a line that was a line crossed with that? What are your thoughts on that? Is it okay if you hanging out with your girls or even the fellas and say you're in a relationship as you're in a committed relationship and a guy, you send a young lady a drink like, hey, it's innocent now. You know you're in a relationship. You're not trying to do anything. It's just is that okay? I'm pretty sure every woman's going to be like, no, you shouldn't be sending no woman no drink. But
no, I disagree. I send them a drink.
Okay. We have some people that said it's okay. They disagree. But my question is for women, if a guy sends you a drink, fellas, would you be upset if your woman came home and said, yeah, no, guy, because I done had that happen to me. That my wife then said, hey, yeah, a guy brought me a drink. I'm not upset because I honestly expect a man to send my wife a drink.
Yeah, you go.
I expect it. I mean, she's an attractive woman. I would send her a drink. So I expect that. But my question is, men, are you okay with that? And could your woman come home and tell you, hey, I'm out with the girls and a guy sent me a drink? Are you okay with that happening, that transaction happening? And what if she said she struck up a conversation with him? And at some point she revealed to him because he tried to hit on, she revealed to him, no, I'm in a relationship, but just some innocent conversation. Because I still think women, whether you're in a committed relationship or not, you guys still want to be flirted with. You still want to know that you're attractive. And I think that door swings both ways for men as well. So, but is there a line? How far should you go with that? Is, I guess my question is, how far should you go with that? How far should you go with that innocent flirtation before it kind of is borderline, okay, you were being disrespectful? And I'm talking about from a male perspective and a female perspective. So don't forget, the original topic is a man's biggest flex how a woman represents herself when he is not around? Let's see. My cousin says it depends on the type of relationship you have with your partner. Some couples may find it disrespectful. Others are okay with it. Absolutely. I totally agree with it. Like I said, for me, I totally think that I expect for my wife to get drinks sent her way if I'm not with her, Now, I would be totally disrespectful if a ninja sent her a drink and I'm with her. Now we got a problem, but that has never happened. And I don't think, men would be that disrespectful. But
that's cold blooded.
Yeah, that's definitely cold. That's definitely cold blooded. That's outright disrespectful. However, but my question is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around? And I want to know, does that door swing both ways? I would like to think it does. Like I said, I think because as black men, we got a sort of a bad rep, and sometimes it's deservedly so. Let's see. Stacey said, I have accepted drinks from men and I have also purchased drinks from men. Okay. So this is interesting because that was the next question I wanted to ask. What does that say about a woman who sends a man a drink? What does that say about a woman who sends a man a drink? Is that because we always tossing that word out, oh, she's thirsty. Does that mean that she's thirsty because she sent a man a drink? Maybe she finds, because there have been situations where I've seen women that I thought were attractive and I played them a compliment. Hey, I just want to let you know you are very attractive. And that was the end of it. Like, I didn't want to take it any further. I'm in a relationship. This hasn't happened recently because I don't want my wife eyeballing me. No, she on here somewhere. But if there have been times in my past where I've been in relationships where I've seen an attractive woman and maybe not even been in a relationship, like, hey, I just want to let you know you fine, and kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? And kept it moving. But I think it should be okay for opposite sex to be able to pay each other compliments without reading more into it. And I think for men, because a lot of women, I've heard women say they don't make eye contact with men because we'll take that to mean she's interested and she want me to holler at her, that is one of the signals that, hey, she's interested. It's okay to approach. So give me your thoughts on that. Like, what does it say about a woman who sends a man a drink? Men, are you offended by that? ladies, how do you feel about that? Women sending men drinks. Have you done it? Are you what's your thought process on that? So that's what I want to know. All right, so let's play some of the while we're waiting for the responses and everything to come in. We're gonna play a couple of cards from the game. All right, so this one is, what did Vicky Sue Robinson want turned around? What did Vicky Sue Robinson want turned around? Everybody looking like, who is that?
Shirley. Right.
All right. It was the beat. The beat. All right, here's the next one. In Good Times, Sheik said you should leave your cares where? Oh, y'all should know this one. Good Times. Leave your cares. There you go. Behind. All right, here's the next one. Sam Cooke said he was born by the river in what?
In a little tent.
There you go. In a little tent. All right. River. What time did Billy Paul and Mrs. Jones meet at the cafe every day? A, 4:30. B, 5:30. C, 6:30. Or D, 7:30. We meet every day at the same cafe. No. What time did Billy Paul and Mrs. Jones meet at the cafe every day? A, 4:30. B, 5:30. C, 6:30. Or D, 7:30. Nobody. Y'all know the song. Y'all just don't remember. I know y'all singing in your head.
6:30?
6:30 is correct. 6:30 is correct. All right. What was Otis Redding doing while he was sitting on the dock of the bay? A, fixing his boat. B, watching the tide roll away. Watching the tide roll away. All right, here's the next one. What did Bobby Caldwell come back to let you know? A, y'all should know this one. A, you're the one. B, he got a thing for you. He got a thing for you, and I can't let it go. You know what? I have to tell you, I have to be honest with y'all. I did not know that man was white. I did not know he was white. They said they deliberately didn't show his face on the album cover, and they said when he passed, his wife really wanted to thank the black community because we were the biggest supporter of his music.
Because we thought he was.
Yeah. We did not know.
But you know, they got a lot of things. I know this all the time. They have a lot of songs. They say artists you didn't know were white.
Yeah.
You know, different songs that'll blow your mind.
So okay. So we gonna go off topic a little bit. What artists that you didn't know was white and you absolutely loved their music that you didn't know were white, but you absolutely loved their music? You were shocked to find out they white. Yeah, shocked it was white. Now, one person
Tina Marie.
No, we knew Tina Marie was white because who? Steely Dan. John B.
No, I didn't know Tina was white as a little girl because I only heard her music through my mom.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say,
I'm talking about as a kid.
Okay.
But as a kid,
yeah,
I would never thought that was a white one.
Okay, because I want to say what's his name? The owner of Motown, Berry Gordy. He wanted to show her face on her album cover because I remember my uncle was a big Rick James and Tina Marie fan, so I knew that she was white coming up. But yeah, absolutely, she was one. And you know who else was soulful? Michael McDonald. But I knew he was white.
Some people didn't know Michael Franks was white.
Well, you know what? I had never seen a picture of Michael Franks, so I heard his music, but I didn't. I assumed he was. Yeah. I think the voice kind of gave it away for me.
But some people did.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who was the other. Big fans of Daryl Hall and John Oates. Big major fans of Daryl Hall. I was so sad to hear today. They're kind of beefing. Anyway, okay, let's stick to the topic. Is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around? And to add a caveat to that, does that door swing both ways?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Why? So we had some people, someone in the audience say yes, it does. Give me 1 second because I want to add a video file.
To her man. Men judge men based off their woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden I'm like, what does that guy do?
Facts.
Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends. Women have to protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, it's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
And you know what? Yeah.
Egos.
Okay. All right. So we have some ladies in the audience, and I want you guys come on up, have a seat in the chair, and give me your feedback.
All
right. Welcome, my cousin Stacy. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for showing up today. Yeah, thank you for being a part of the studio audience. So, I heard a little bit of your comment, but why do you think that women have to protect their men?
I think I think both have to protect each other.
Okay.
And it does have a lot to do with both your relationship with each other.
Okay.
Because you don't want, my thing is don't do what you don't want done to you. If you don't want it done to you, then don't do it.
She's always, I love this girl. She's always been so blunt, even as a kid.
Yeah.
She's always been very
to
blunt.
me, it was what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you out there acting a fool, I won't be acting a fool.
Okay, but sticking to the topic of what the man was talking about, I think there was one thing that stood out to you you were very adamant about. So what was the one thing that he said that you was like, oh no, you said, I think you mentioned something about men being sensitive or the ego.
The egos.
Okay.
Egos get in the way.
Okay.
Egos get in the way.
Okay. All right. Let's play the video one more time because I definitely want to get your video.
Respect to her man. Men judge men based off their woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is,
I do want to pause right there. I did not believe that, but that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Because there have been many times where I done seen an attractive woman come in and she with a guy, he might be mediocre. And I'm like, what's she doing with him?
Right.
Like, what is, I ain't gonna even lie. Yeah, I'm like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? How he get her? So absolutely, I definitely agree with
But
that.
I'll tell you what else. And on the opposite end, a lot of men will lose, just off eyes, a lot of men will lose respect if the woman is not just based off her look. If she looks kind of homely or she's overweight or if she's not eye candy, they may think like, oh, this bum guy. They don't give the woman any credit.
Okay.
stunning and she looks beautiful and classy,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I'm like, what does that guy do?
Right?
Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends. Women have to protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, it's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
And you know what? I agree, but sometimes I think that we put so much weight on what a woman should be doing as well. You know what I'm saying? And I get why women do a lot of pushing back on things like, why do I have to carry that? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that only my responsibility? So I think while I definitely agree with what he's saying, but I think that door definitely swings both ways.
It's a small world.
Yeah, it really is. And it's getting even smarter with social media.
It's definitely
Yeah.
a small world.
Yeah. Was there anything, cousin, that he said that you really wanted to kind of chime in on?
Play it one more.
Okay, absolutely. We'll play it a few times for you.
Men judge men based off their woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden, I'm like, what does that guy do? Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends. Women have to protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, it's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
Yeah.
I agree with some about what a lot of what he said.
Okay.
It is true because I've called guys out that have came and said something inappropriate
To you?
to me.
Okay.
I said, if you can't say it in front of my man, then don't say it in front of me.
Come
If you
on.
can't say it in front of your woman, then you don't say it in front of me.
Okay. Okay.
Come on.
So if you
Okay.
can't say something in front of your woman while I'm there, then you shouldn't say it.
Absolutely.
And it
Absolutely.
goes both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely think that. Well, I tend to agree with a lot of what he said. I guess the thing that hit home for me was like, why does the woman have to carry the heavier load in that situation?
Because of the double standards.
Agreed.
I think it's
Agreed.
because of double
The double
standards.
standards. Yeah. You know what? So let's talk about that. Is the double standard really there anymore? Because there's a lot of women out here doing what men are doing now. I heard it. Yeah, no, they are, because I was listening to somebody else's podcast and he was talking about we talked about that very subject, that women out here, like they getting bodies too, like whatever. Like
They are, but men still look at them a certain way.
Yeah.
And you have some women that still look at certain way.
Yeah.
So they're still there.
So if there's women out here catching bodies, like are these aren't women who are looking to so let's just let me ask this question.
You don't want me telling them, folks.
No. So you catching bodies. As a woman, you're catching bodies. And at some point, and there's maybe men who know it, and at some point you want to be in a relationship. Should a man judge you on your past the way women don't necessarily judge men on their past?
I don't think they should.
I don't think they should judge
I think
anybody.
they should judge you based on how you feel with them and how you treat
Absolutely.
them. Not anything to do with anybody's past.
That's in the past. It's the
It don't have
past.
nothing to do with nothing. And that's why a lot of people missing out on really good relationships, because they
Absolutely.
judging about stuff that, not character is one thing. Like, okay, are you out here, catching bodies with children? Are you out here doing things disrespectful and neglecting your children? Are you not working and you catching bodies and you broke and all you want to do is have sex? Or are you about your business, you take care of home, and sex is what you like, and you have sex, and you with that guy, and that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so a guy gonna judge you based on your who you had sex with, because somebody would have to tell him, or you would have to tell him.
So my question is,
You know
okay,
how many men are with women who think they woman didn't catch nobody,
Right.
and all the niggas walking by like,
If you don't want to know, don't
let's
ask.
be real.
Don't
No,
ask.
true
You don't
that,
wanna know,
true
don't
that.
ask.
I'm gonna tell you something. If your body count is too low, the nigga got something to worry about, because you probably attached to that one or two niggas. Your body count too high, so it's a catch-22
Either way, yeah.
Because if it's too low, then you gotta worry about them niggas. You know, you
Right.
You love them niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That nigga's been too many. That shit, you don't care about them niggas. So
Right.
I can't even put it down on you. So it's a catch, you gotta remember.
True.
So you know what I'm saying? You really, sometimes you don't want a woman with no body count.
Right.
Some people, because they think like, okay, that's when y'all get to saying the sex trash, and this, well, she ain't slept with nobody.
Right.
Right.
She don't know how to do nothing.
Right. I guess for me, like to what Stacy said is like, I don't ask. Like I just assume. First of all, I always tell guys, don't ask a woman, because if she whatever the number is, it's probably
It's
two
two
times.
times.
It's 2 times more than that. She ain't gonna tell you the truth.
Wait a minute, or some women out here not will say more intentionally.
Yeah.
That's the new thing now.
Ooh.
Let's see what you gonna do.
Uh-huh.
20 now what, nigga?
What's too many?
Now what?
Right. Or it might be like, I don't know who was counting. Who was counting?
God.
Look, we
I
got
think I'll fall out. Like what?
Wait, somebody said that to me. I said, you want me eyes or even?
I'll fall out. Like what?
Eyes or even?
This week or last week?
We got centimeters, millimeters, and inches. How we doing that?
Oh my God. Listen here, man. I'm so glad I ain't in the date field, because I would fall out. Like, what you just say? Man, oh man. But I learned early on, you don't ask a woman that. Like, like I'll ask a woman her age price.
Man, y'all be lying too.
Right.
I ain't lying on my body count.
Y'all be lying.
Probably had one.
I agree, but
And y'all don't even be remembering.
I just
That's
say,
true.
I just say it like this.
That's
I had a pass. before
tried to count them up one day. I'm like,
You
ooh.
don't even be remembering. Until you at the movies one day.
Right.
No, we-
Oh, they allowing they D in a minute.
What?
Man.
Say they had somebody and don't.
Wow. That's crazy. Now I don't know that part I never understood. Like, don't lie on it now, bro. Come on.
Hey, your boys out there doing it.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, but I have to believe it because this is coming from the women. Like,
grown men doing it.
yeah. Oh
And
wow.
this how you know women ain't lying, because they'll admit, like, you know, I did that. I said, him, I ain't sleep with you, nigga, you know?
Yeah.
I never slept with anybody.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So thank you, cousin. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate you. Yeah, you can go back to. All right. So again, the initial conversation is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around. I'm gonna play the video again for anybody that is just tuning in. If you are tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that into the chat window, and then we're gonna play the video
And
again.
his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy. All of a sudden, I'm like, what does that guy do? Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends. Women have to protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, there's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
Yeah. All right. So what do you guys think about that? Do you already agree with what he's saying? Do you disagree? Is there maybe a small caveat you would like to add to that? Give me your thoughts and your feedback. Also, let's stick with part 2 of this ongoing conversation. Who's worse when they are sick, men or women? Like I said, the last time we had this conversation, the ladies was on my head about this subject. Men are big babies. We act like we can't walk. Stacy says he didn't mention anything about protecting his woman, and I made point of that. I noticed that as well. Like, I think that, again, to a point that Stacy made earlier when she was sitting up here, the double standard. Like, why is it that women carry the burden in that situation? I think that men equally need to protect their women because of. How many times have you heard a woman come back getting feedback from somebody in the street? Oh, your man was doing X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've heard many women say, you mean to tell me like you out here making me look like an asshole? You out here doing X, Y, and Z. So I think we need to protect them as well. So it matters how we carry ourselves. And to be truthful, that kind of respect goes a long way with women. Like, there are certain women who are attracted to married men because they don't have to worry about that responsibility. I also think that when there are women who are attracted to a man who represents himself well when his woman is not around as well, they find, not saying to the point where there are some women who don't mind, they don't give a damn what, but there are some women who just like, they like that, they find that attractive and they like that character in the man. Do you agree or disagree? I think there are some women who find those kind of men attractive for various reasons. Not even so much that they want to try to maybe get in the middle of that relationship, but I think there are some women who maybe the wrong word is attracted to. They appreciate that in a man.
And they know he got to go home. They ain't got to worry about him coming home with them. They ain't got to worry about him. I can do what I want to do, and I know he going home.
You talking about being attracted to a married man?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I'm referring to, okay, yeah, I agree with that. My question is, a man who represents himself well when his woman is not around, do women find that attractive?
I do.
Okay. Why do you think, come on up, I want to get your feedback.
So excuse me.
That's okay. All right.
Haters.
You supposed to have a green flag too. Yeah.
Try again.
Haters.
All right. So the question is, are women? That's okay. Are women attracted to men who represent themselves well when their woman is not around?
I think so, and I think so.
And how is that attraction? What do you?
It's not attractive in the sense that you want the man physically, but it's attractive because it's reassuring. It lets you know that there are good, honest men out there. And it's just like, man, so if you are a good woman and you run into a good man, even if he's not yours, depending on the type of woman you are, but I'm always happy for somebody else.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for that sister, and I'm
Mhm.
excited for Black love, and I'm excited that there's positive energy in my community.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, that's one positive family. That means they probably rearing positive children, positive grandchildren, like
Mhm.
they're feeding love and not hatred. So then, maybe my daughter can meet that man's son.
Mhm.
So I look at it in attractive. I'm going way left with it. Like, man,
Okay.
I wonder who his brother is. Who
Yeah.
da-da-da.
Yeah.
Maybe he knows something. Because if he has that kind of character,
Mm-hmm.
probably his friends have that character.
Mm.
Or the people he's around. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because normally you like minds hang around each other, right?
Mhm.
So normally if you a decent guy and like if your fella's out encouraging you to cheat or not encouraging, okay with it, then and you do it, y'all like minded. But if you go out with a fella like, look, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know you my guy, your wife ain't even my girl, but I stood up in your wedding, man. I'm not about to sit up here and support
Towards
this.
that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a good guy. And when you out with him, she know that you're probably, you know what I'm saying, in a healthy environment.
Mhm.
So when women see that, well, I can say when I see it, I'm like, man, so there are healthy men. There are men with high emotional IQ that understands that it's more important to be monogamous than it is to cheat, if that's the agreement you and your mate have.
Mhm.
So I do have to put that caveat out there because
Yeah.
some people have different agreements.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not here to put my lifestyle on you.
Exactly.
But if we're in a relationship, our agreement should be the same,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Now, if our agreement is something different, then it don't matter what the public
That's
thinks
it, right.
because they may be judging,
Mhm.
but we got a different agreement.
Exactly.
So yes, it's attractive when you see someone that even if they shoot you down and you a single woman, to me, you should find that attractive. Like, man, because when you do find a man or get a man, you want him to have those same qualities and traits.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Thank you. Definitely like your feedback. Stay up here. We're gonna read some of the questions from the game. Actually, I'm gonna let you read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna let the audience.
All right.
And I'm gonna try to guess.
You ever had somebody cry and they couldn't read?
No.
And
I ain't gonna put them on blast.
I was gonna say like, of course.
It would take
have some fun with it.
right.
You got that one friend that call our words.
All right.
According to Aretha Franklin, your kisses are as sweet as honey, and so is her what? A, love. B, money.
Money.
Look at y'all. Money.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you read the rest.
got
Let me have that one.
You got that one. Okay, come on, cuz. In Sweet Thing, Shaka Khan told him to love her now, or she'll do what?
Love her now. No, it's no multiple choice.
Nope.
Love her now. I know this song. Hey sis.
Come on, y'all.
Love her now.
We use this word often when people off they rocker.
Crazy.
I know, crazy.
Yep, it is right. Love me not right. You're like, okay.
And let's get it on. Now, come on now.
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye said, we're all what kind of people?
We're all sensitive people.
Oh, look at you. You ain't even give me a chance.
We're
There
all
you go.
sensitive people.
There you go. We are. Look at the sensitive. He knew we were talking about this subject today. The one coming up about our men worse than women.
Whatever.
When they
Here we go.
Ben E. King, half y'all do not know who he is, so we're going to guess on this one. Said he won't cry or shed a tear as long as you did what?
I don't know. I don't even know who this artist is. What's it? Ben E. King?
So not sit down, but yeah, there you go. She got it.
Stand by me.
him.
Okay.
Okay. And at last, what did Etta James say her life was like?
My love's coming. My lonely days are over.
Life is like, what are y'all doing?
Life is like a song.
There you go.
My wife will be
Yeah.
proud.
Yes, she would.
All right. Yeah, so, hey sis, thank you for tuning in. Hashtag I'm outside. Go ahead and drop that in the chat window. Go Go ahead and drop that in the chat window. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you. Happy New Year to you. So, is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he is not around? And does that door swing both ways? That is part of the conversation today. And part 2 to this long debate, who's worse when they're sick, men or women? Men or women? Who is worse when they're sick, men or women? So a lot of the comments were, of course, women were saying that men are big babies. We can't do nothing. So me and my wife actually had a conversation kind of offline about this, and she was saying that because women because of the monthly thing, and you guys always have to kind of keep it moving. Single moms, you got kids, you still got to kind of keep it moving. So when you're sick, y'all gotta keep it moving no matter what's going on. And then for men, because we don't get sick that often, when we do, it's almost like we don't function, I guess, the same way that y'all do, because we don't have the same, I guess, responsibilities, I guess. I don't know.
Why do you feel that men don't get sick that often?
Well, okay, I'm speaking from personal experience. I don't get sick that often. I don't get, and it is a big thing when I do get sick.
Today.
Yeah.
Sick.
Right. Yeah.
Come out if you're sick.
And maybe, okay, I'm speaking from my personal experience, because I don't get sick that often. Like, I very rarely catch colds, flus, or anything like that. So of course when I do, but here's the thing with me. If I do, if I could still get up and like shovel the snow and do all that, I'm still going to do it. Like, I still don't like there has been very few times where I've been sick. And I want to say it might've been when I had caught COVID, that I was just actually down, like, and just couldn't do nothing for myself. Yeah. Outside of that, there have been very few times where I would have to say that my wife was like, oh my God, like she had to just do everything, but she does do a really good job of taking care of me when I am sick. When the few times that I have been down, she does a very good job of, making sure I'm taken care of. But I want to know, what are your thoughts on that? Who's worse? Who's worse when they get sick, men or women? And the other question, the topic of the show is do you feel that's your biggest flex? How a woman represents herself, how your woman represents herself when you're not around. And ladies, like, is that a flex for you? How your man represents himself when you're not around? Like, so let's put that on both sides. Is it a flex for either party? How your person represent him or herself when you're not around? How do you feel about that?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna come up.
Okay.
I don't have to.
Okay. No, you don't.
So my husband told me early in our marriage that one of my friends liked
Mm-hmm.
my husband.
Okay.
I didn't believe my husband.
You didn't believe your husband?
No,
Wow.
this has been my friend since second grade.
Okay.
He was like, I said, well, did she tell you she liked you? And y'all got this thing where
Hey, cuz.
y'all got this, I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know. And he said, I guarantee you she'd sleep with me. And I was like, now you feeling yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You done went way too far.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
He tested the theory.
tested the theory. And he asked me if I was okay when he didn't sleep with her. He
Uh-huh.
was like, because this was my girl.
Uh-huh.
He was like, you so close with her that I'm afraid that you sharing, like, not necessarily things about us, but you really trusting her and loving her, and it could be like a relationship, a heartbreak if you found out
Mm-hmm.
this. He was like, so I'm just gonna be the one to tell you now, because we're gonna be married forever, and I don't know how this is gonna pan out. You know what I'm saying, throughout the years, and I don't want to restrict her from coming into our home, but that's what's gonna have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see none of this. And he was like, that's even worse.
Mm.
That means she's intentional about making sure you don't know and pitting me against you. I was like, this nigga really,
It's true.
this nigga hard. Like, he really think he the man. So he said, tell her you going out of town. Oh, study going out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Told her I was going out of town. I'm gonna trust him to see my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in the guest room. He invited her over. And she came.
Ooh.
Trench coat and lingerie.
Wow.
She showed up.
What'd she do when you popped out?
So he played it for like at least about 4 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Like he was like, hey, da 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 da, glad you came over, whatever. She was like, yeah, I want to, blah blah blah. And I'm just in the room. He knew I couldn't come out at first
Uh-huh.
because I couldn't come out crying
Yeah.
because I'm just heartbroken.
Okay.
Like, this is my girl.
Right.
I'm talking, and she was looking good. That motherfucker. Like, I was like, what? I was like, you probably didn't hit her first. You got me out the closet. Because she was fine too. You know? But I was so heartbroken. He knew not to bring me out at first because I would have been emotional. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I was saying that to say that what I learned from that was like year 2 in our marriage. We stayed here like 30. What I learned from that is on both ends, just because you want somebody that's attractive, you want somebody that other people want, but you have to realize other people want them. And you got to be mindful and not so hardy to think that nobody else wants your man or your woman. And make sure y'all have open communication where they feel like they can share that. Because what if he couldn't talk to me about it? What if he would have got cussed out about it? What if I would have blew him off? That could have been a side relationship.
Yeah.
We could have easily went on because I trusted her. She would have been the one to watch my children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So fortunately, that was to answer your question, that was a big flex of how he acted when I wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, he said, but where he thought it was, when he noticed that she liked him, he should have checked her. He didn't say anything. He said, because I never said nothing to him. I didn't never try to talk to her.
Right.
He was like, but I knew it and I should have said something point blank then, like you out of order.
Right.
He was like, so I failed you in that way, but I just didn't never say nothing to her. He was like, but I knew it. You could just tell.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, so that's a big flex because he protected me when I didn't even protect myself.
Right. What's up, cuz? Thank you for tuning in. Hashtag I'm outside. Happy New Year to you as well. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I want to go ahead and play the video, the main topic of today.
A woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden I'm like, what does that guy do? Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends. Women have to protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, there's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
All right. So that is one of the topics today, one of the 2 topics today. Is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself? And like I said, does that door swing both ways? Is a woman's biggest flex? Or is a man's biggest flex how he represents himself? Yeah.
I was gonna say a man's biggest flex is how he represents himself when you're not around. Look, you got a real man, and I think a woman. I think what you're saying is true, but I think we can flip it and say that my character shows when you're not around.
Yeah,
you know
and because so many times you hear women say, you done heard women say, they done got some report back from somebody saying, oh, your man was doing X, Y, and Z. So now. Now you're having a conversation with your significant other at home. Like, what was you doing? How you out here disrespecting me and stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put my business in the street. You got me looking bad. So yeah, I think it is. I definitely think it's a flex for a man either way, how he represents himself, how his woman represents herself when he's not around, and then how he represents himself when his woman is not around. So I definitely think that door swings both ways. But I think the only pushback that I would disagree with the brother on is that why does the woman have to carry the heavier load in that scenario? Like, why does it necessarily have to be she has to be the one to?
So I think, Al, sometimes we add things into conversations that maybe don't exist. For example, maybe he wasn't saying that it was her. Maybe he was just saying the woman's responsibility. Maybe on a different podcast, he might talk about the man's responsibility. Sometimes I think if a man says it's hard to be a man, then as soon as we say it's hard to be a woman too, you like that wasn't the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only saying based on the good nuggets he had, he might have only been talking about just that portion of it. Not saying she was the only one responsible for carrying it, it could be that she was responsible for protecting her man, and maybe the man is responsible for protecting the woman.
True. And again, and that's one of the things I like about having these conversations, because of course, because we all think differently. You try to take the conversation in the context in which it was given to you, but it's kind of hard to do that because one, we all have had life experiences. So you start to
dissect.
Because like my cousin just mentioned to me, like, who says that that's the case? But that men don't get sick. I was basing that off my personal experience.
Some people would be like, the man I know
Yeah, they always, yeah. So I was basing that off my personal experience. So I think we when we have conversations, when we look at things in their context, and that's what makes the conversation interesting, because we all have had life experience. So we're basing our opinions off our own personal experience, or the experiences that we know personally that may have happened to others. And that's where we come up with our ideas. Let's see. My cousin says both ways, because it looks so much better when y'all out together. Yes, I agree, because it does. I definitely agree with that. Your comment. It definitely looks good when you're both. It looks good when you're both out together, especially if you're both representing each other well. It definitely, it says a lot, for both of you when you represent each other well. Agreed.
Ain't nothing worse than I can't speak for a man. I'm sure you guys can speak up to this. But ain't nothing worse for a woman to be slighted or embarrassed. Like, you take her into a place, whether it be a club or a lounge or a birthday party, and you, while married or while in that relationship, you've been doing stuff and the other people there laughing and you just a mockery.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the man felt like that's the most.
It is.
Just keep me out of those.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't even put me in those situations.
Yeah.
But I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
It could be your girl sleeping with somebody, and it could be that dude. Now he bring his woman, and she ain't gonna say nothing because that's y'all agreement. And I'll tell you, I just be sitting there looking like it's heart, be gut wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, that's so nasty.
Yeah.
So I think not only we need to have a conversation too. None of these people could do any of this if the side people wouldn't be side people. That's a whole nother conversation. Like,
Yeah, that is. That's, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do nothing without an unwilling participant.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think it need to be, because there's some women who will not sleep with a married man,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what.
Right.
They can like him, think he attractive. And there's some men who not gonna sleep with a married woman. And if the people were like that, then
Yeah.
life would be
And,
different.
I mean-
I just added that because that's really embarrassing. And I see women with their man and they love them so much, and they, really are, proud to be with them. And the girl sitting over there like, Al Stacy smashing that nigga. Right or wrong. You just sitting there, and they talking to you, baby. Hey, girl, that's a nice jacket you got.
That's true. And everybody has done wrong. I've done things
Yeah.
that I should have done.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
what
Yeah.
I wasn't doing, I wasn't hanging out with that man and that woman.
Right.
You got some out here that don't care. No
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They're right in your face.
Face. Yeah.
Put in your face.
Right.
And be sitting there
Yeah.
right there
And
doing
that
the same
and
thing.
that's why you got 187 cases, or
Absolutely.
because you've been playing in my face the whole time.
That's why you got to pack up and move to a whole new state.
You've been playing in my face the whole time.
People be a bit like,
That's true.
Yeah.
Y'all heard about cheating. We all have. But don't try to get disgusted when somebody brought somebody in somebody's house. Don't that make y'all like, oh, that nigga know. Like,
Listen.
we make him a whole different person though. Even dudes be like, oh, sure.
Yeah, listen.
No, dudes be like, nah, that's cold.
That's the- listen. Bringing somebody into your house,
It's
man
crazy.
or woman, is crazy. I remember I was a teenager. I was in high school. I might have been just got out of high school. Young lady I was, trying to get with, invited me over. And I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot of male paraphernalia around. I ain't see no underwear, but I'm seeing weights, a weight bench, and some other stuff. And I'm like, and she like, no. She said it was her uncle. I was like, you know what? Nah,
It didn't feel right.
it didn't feel right. So I got on out of there because he would have been well within his right to come home and, you know what I'm saying? And then we would have been up in there. Snap. Yeah, I'm like, no, we ain't playing them kind of games. No. You don't bring nobody into your crib. That's just, you got, that's a whole nother level of, that's a whole nother level of disrespect. Yeah, and yeah, for sure. All right, so let's do some more from the game. Again, so the original conversation that we're talking about today is a man's biggest flex, how his woman represents herself when he is not around, and does that door swing both ways? And the other topic, part 2 to this conversation, men and women, who's worse when they're sick, men or women?
Me.
Okay, big babies. There we go. All right, here we go. The undisputed truth had proof that smiling faces do what? A, tell lies. B, tell the truth. A, cheat on you. D, are rare.
Tell lies.
Tell lies. I didn't know that was the name of the group, though. Smiling faces. All right, here's the next one. Cuz, where you at? Because I know this. Okay, sis, you got it. Did you know that was the name of the group? Okay, Fontella Bass said she was lonely, and what else? A, blue. B, crying. C, mad. Or D, desperate.
Blue.
Blue is correct. Blue is correct. All right. If Peabo Bryson lost your love for any reasons, what did he want his record to show? Y'all know this one. If Peabo Bryson lost your love for any reason, what did he want his record to show? Dang, I'm trying not to sing it without giving the words.
That's one of my karaoke.
Told me stayed in my head all night long. You wanted me to love you. Come on, y'all with me. And you said, show me, reach out and touch me.
My love is in your
That's what.
Keep going, y'all.
Feel me.
All I gotta do.
I want to feel. That's a different song, though. That was him and Stephanie Mills. That was it. We all over the wrong song. We on the wrong song. Anyway, the answer is he gave all the love he knows.
That's the Velvet Room remix.
Yeah, that's the Velvet. We all singing the Stephanie Mills version. Don't be laughing at me, sis. That's different. Yeah, that was different. All right, cuz. All right, here's the next one. When did Sam and Dave want you to lean on them?
When you're not strong.
No. You in the ballpark though. When did Sam and Dave want you to lean on them? When times are bad. I'll help you carry on. Nope. All right, almost, cuz here's the next one. This was my favorite group. The Stylistics said she was a genie in disguise filled with wonder and what else?
That's fine.
No. I need your black card. She was so sure. Despise.
No, I knew I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
I know none of y'all know it.
Right, she's right.
Look.
No, you was rhyming.
Yeah, I know none of y'all know it.
The stylist said she was a genie in disguise filled with wonder and what else? Surprise is it. Surprise is it. Oh man. All right. So who's worse when they're sick, men or women? Who's worse when they're sick, men or women? Why do y'all feel that men are worse when they're sick? That's what I want to know. Why? Please tell me. Drop that in the chat window. Why do y'all feel men are worse when they're sick? Why? Actually, you could come on up here and we're going to have this debate right here. Because you had some interesting stuff to say in the part 1 of this conversation. Why you feel men are the worst when they're sick, cuz?
No names.
No names.
No names.
We're going to protect the innocent.
We're going to protect the innocent. And I'm not going to give out no initials.
No initials.
I want to.
Protect the signature. You hear me, God?
Baby.
Signature.
Right. Let me put your arm out. Let me lay my head on your arm. I feel better.
Why do y'all think men are worse when they're sick?
Because that's what they do.
Why?
They
Okay.
don't want us to be around
They
y'all
got
when
to
y'all
call. Can I
sick. You
mean?
want y'all to get away
Yeah.
from us. You
Right.
at home, you come on.
Yeah, rub my
You
head,
think I got a fever? Nigga, you sweating and shit.
rub my head, rub my
Look,
back.
Can you check
Can
me
I get
back
some
and tell me what
Soothe?
you think? What you think? How sick you think I am?
Right.
Oh.
Wait a minute, wait, hold time. I asked those questions, but that don't mean that I'm
See
like.
what I mean? Look, ain't no anybody. Y'all be like, how you think I'm real sick? You think I should go to work? You just sit on yourself twice. Y'all you sit on.
Right.
Y'all be flaking. Don't worry.
Y'all.
Don't worry about snow. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
Don't worry about the snow. We see we know. We be like, shit, y'all get the condition. I don't give a damn. I don't know what y'all eat. I better order something. I'm cramping like mom about to lay down. Y'all be like, this. I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna feel the coffee.
Okay, cuz say men are big babies when they're
Yeah,
sick,
that's true.
and my sister said cuz they act like babies.
Right.
Come on, cuz women cuz they sick at least once a month.
Right.
No, you think I got a fever? Nigga, a fever?
My cousin Jay says women cuz they sick at least once a month. Yeah.
I've never been sick once a month.
Neither have I ever.
Me either. So I never. I didn't
All
have
right,
those issues.
all right. Thank you. So we can take the whole monthly thing off the table.
That's just some women. That's just some women.
Yeah.
That's not everybody. I've never had those
No,
issues.
I was just
but
joking.
there's some women
Let's
that go
take the
through
monthly
it.
thing off the table.
Yeah, not one time have I.
Cause y'all gonna claim that until Jesus come back.
Some women do. Some women have it real bad. I have sisters
No,
that have it real bad.
I agree. I'm just talking mess because I know my
I
daughter.
know when I was having my baby, I said they don't feel like cramps. I said I never had one.
Me, that's exactly what I said
Shit,
too.
he said I ain't never in my life had a cramp.
Never?
Never, not one time. And my daughter, 4 days a month, she couldn't go to school in high school. We had to get a medical a thing for her.
Yep.
She literally would be on the floor
Wow.
in fetal position. So some people do.
Yep, some people do.
Sister says she don't have that problem. You and that what do y'all call that? Is
I didn't have a cramp till I started
menopause.
going through a change.
Okay, so you started going through the change.
When I went through the change, that's when I had my first cramp. And I changed my diet.
Okay.
I don't know.
And I didn't have those problems no more.
So I don't know. I started having my period when I was 25. A whole other conversation, but I was a very young person.
Oh.
So I don't know. So that we have to wait and see if I'm gonna have menopause or not.
Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. So yeah, this is one of those conversations that'll definitely go on for eons. Men, why women think things.
Me and our babies.
Right.
Right. But the fact is, me and our babies.
Right. That's why y'all weren't can't have no kids. Y'all wouldn't no way.
No, we didn't have no kids because God intended it that way. What are you talking
y'all
about?
wouldn't have made it. You know y'all wouldn't have made it.
Nobody be alive.
No, right. We would have to be in it.
World would end.
Right.
First man to have a baby. This bullshit.
Right. Be a virgin.
Right.
Oh man. And you know what I used to say, that if there was a choice, if it was when you lay down and have sex, the men having a baby or the women having a baby, it would be like, oh, the first time a man had a baby, that would have been passing up, bro. Don't do it.
Like, bro.
Like I'm telling you, don't do it. Yeah. Okay. Bye. You can leave. Get on away from up here. Get on away from up here. Whatever. Bye.
I will say this about all these conversations, especially the flexing and
Mm-hmm.
this and that. I believe that the world, the entire space of Earth, is starting to get real men again. I think they were gone for a long time, where it was for so many years, everybody was player and getting money and pimping it, had all these titles, and now I see men taking care of their women, taking care of their children, wanting to be in monogamous and faithful relationship, and thinking that's the flex. More now than I've ever seen it. Now that may have been the thing prior to me being in relationships, like when our grandparents were younger. I don't know. Then you heard about every time they died, they had a whole other damn family. But I'm talking about now, and I don't think you can even speak to this. There was a player phase, and I know people say age, but no, because there was players 50, 60 years old. I see people now wanting, and you even hear the conversation from black men talking about they want one woman and they want to be in a relationship. Those weren't conversations you were hearing before. They were in a relationship, but they weren't speaking into existence that that's the only one they wanted. They had all their side pieces. So I hear from men now more than ever about how even marriage and exclusive relationships. And I'm happy to
That's
see
older
that.
men.
Yeah, I was definitely about to come to that. I think,
But I'm saying, but the older men before, you didn't hear those conversations. They were playing quietly, but I hear more of people. Of course, you outgrow those things. I'm just glad I'm in an era where people want to be monogamous and faithful, and people think that that's cool and that is a flex. That you don't have to be a player to go, or you don't have to have multiple men or women to validate who you are.
come on, let me hear.
Yeah, I think it depends, because I know a lot of people that want poly relationships.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that's in the monogamous world. I remember I mentioned that to you earlier, depending on our arrangement. So I'm not saying that, I respect those people too, because that's still open communication. I'm saying the games. I'm saying people move to poly instead of the games. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like my famous saying, let me be a volunteer to your truth, not a victim to your bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's two different things.
Yeah.
You tell me you don't want to, you mess with 3-4 women, and if you want to be with me, that's what it's gonna be. And I keep messing with you. I can't be telling people that you no good.
No, because he told you what was
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we play a victim.
Mm-hmm.
No, a victim is, baby, it's just you. You got me thinking that. Then I catch you, and then you cheated. Now I'm a victim to your bullshit. But we'll play a victim in a minute. You play me. No, you did not.
Mm-hmm.
You told you was dating everybody. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I think this is where Cubs was going, is that I definitely, and this really hasn't changed, because you'll get a lot of women who will say, "Oh, he want to be in a committed relationship because his dick ain't working no more, or he ain't, you know what I'm saying? So now he want to be in this committed relationship because he's older." And no, I know that's what women saying.
And it's true in a lot of cases.
So now because but some of it is you done matured and you done been through the BS and you like, I don't necessarily like, well, some of it is that, but it's not all of that. It's like we gonna go back to this men being sick mess again. No, it's not all that. But I think that, and here's the thing, women mature so much faster. Man, I used to hate to admit that, but it is true. It is uncategorically true. Y'all just do, and y'all ready for things. Y'all just are ready for things that we are not ready for, and that's why I say that Black men, like when boys get off track, it's so much harder for them to get back on track. When girls get off track, somehow, especially if they got kids, they figure it out. Like I gotta get it together because it's not just me. You know what I'm saying? I got to do this for, this other mouth that I got to feed. And I think,
and a lot of times we get a Black woman a lot of credit when she deserves, the mother, but that father's so important and you leave that out sometimes. And I think that has a lot to do too with the man being faithful and understanding the importance of being in a home and things like that. A lot of missing fathers in home. And I'm not saying that everybody that out here playing was from a single mom. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of times you got two sisters in the house, you got your mama, you don't have that male. Your granddaddy who was great, your uncle who was cool. But if you don't have that male presence, you stay off track longer, and I think you mature slower. You know what I'm saying? Because mama not making you doing what daddy making you do.
Yeah.
That's just a reality.
My cousin Jay said, my opinion is if you keep it real in the beginning or tell the truth, at least give them the option to deal with it or not. Absolutely, cuz.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you definitely need to, give them that option. I like that saying. Don't make me be a victim to your BS. Yeah, and a participant in your truth. So yeah, absolutely. You definitely need to be upfront and honest. Yeah, like I got some. So I used to, as one friend of mine, and I'm not gonna say no names to protect the innocent. I'm like, why don't you tell them that you're in a relationship so you can, stop having your spot blown up? Why you just don't tell them you're in a relationship? Because here's the thing: there are some women who will okay with that. They are okay with that. They are absolutely okay with that. And there's other ones who are just not. And here's the thing, fellas: you can't have them all. You can't. You just can't. You cannot sleep with them all. No matter how much we may want to, you cannot. So just tell them the truth.
It's so
And then if you tell them the truth, because again,
because everybody want to be so tough, but then when it comes time to tell the truth, they say, "Oh, you can't handle the truth. Tell it." That's it.
Some
That's
can't.
it. No, I agree, but they can't. But tell it.
You can tell them what you want, and they
Mhm.
like,
Okay.
yeah, they don't hear. They don't want to hear.
Like you said.
yeah.
But
So,
you all
yeah.
right, Al, just tell them.
Yeah, just tell them the truth. Like I used to, one of my friends, I'm like, just tell them the truth because at least this way they can't make up nothing at the end. Like I told you what it was. I gotta go home. You already know this, so I can't stay. Like just tell them the truth. Like so this way you got less problems. You ain't got to be lying. Nothing. Of that. Just tell the truth. All right. Let's see here. All right, so let's do some more for the game before we wrap things up. After turning off the lights, what did Teddy Pendergrass want you to do? Come on now. Light a candle is correct. Light a candle. All right. In this masquerade, what got in the way when George Benson and his lover tried to talk it over? Oh, come on. Y'all should know this one. Read between the lines, cousin. In this masquerade, what got in the way when George Benson and his lover tried to talk it over? The words got in the way. Yep. In Best of My Love, what two things did the emotion say he gave so openly? In Best of My Love, what two things did the emotion say he gave so openly? Love and affection. Cuz, where you at? Nope, Cuz got it. That's right. Love and affection. Cuz I was like, where you at? This your thing right here. All right. And I'm gonna give you a pass because I know you're a little under the weather. And Float On, Ralph told us that his zodiac sign is which of the following? Oh, I'm gonna see who's gonna get this. A, Virgo, B, Sagittarius, C, Aquarius, or D, Scorpio. Float, float, float on.
What was the choice again?
Scorpio.
A, Virgo, B, Sagittarius, C, Aquarius, D, Scorpio.
Aquarius.
Aquarius is the answer. My name is Larry.
That's all right.
All right, here's the next one. What did the Drifters say they'll be making under the boardwalk? Under the boardwalk. Under the boardwalk. Boardwalk. Making love is the correct answer. All right, so I'm gonna play this video again for those who are just tuning in. I want to get your
For
feedback.
her man. Men judge men based off their woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden I'm like, what does that guy do?
Facts.
Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends.
You know, there is nothing like a disrespectful, I'm telling you, a disrespectful woman like that, like a woman, I've seen it where a woman's just really been disrespectful to her man. Like, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say, and maybe that is because he's speaking from his experience that she would probably get advances. I mean, it really probably just depends on how she looks, but like, I don't even want them around. Like, if she's disrespectful, like just blatantly disrespectful, for real. So I'm gonna go.
You can have some women that come in classy and, like he's saying, classy, dressed up to the nines, and they can still be disrespectful.
Respectful. This is true. This is true.
That,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is true. Looks
Women
can be
have
very
to
deceiving.
protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, it's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what do you think? So the people who are just tuning in, give me your thoughts. Do you agree with what the brother said? Was there anything that you agree with what he said? You agree with all of it? Do you have some caveats you want to add in there? What's your opinion? Is a man's biggest flex how his woman represents himself? My biggest thing, what he said, was really putting all the onus on the woman to carry that burden of being the one to represent herself well when her man's not around. I think that weight needs to fall on the men as well. Like, we need to represent ourselves well when our woman is not around as well. But part of the conversation too was, how does that work? Like, I had my cousin said she sent a man a drink. I had another person say she's okay with sending a man a drink, you know? Yeah, she's all right. She said, hey, the owner of this is a lovely establishment, said she done bought me a whole bottle. And so when you've done that, come on up here. Let me talk to you about that. The buying, you done bought bottles. Not they drink, you done bought bottles.
I said I took a whole bottle to it. Yeah, okay.
It works both ways. If you're a leader, okay?
Okay. What's up?
Okay, so you've mentioned that you said you bought a man a drink and you done bought a whole bottle. Did you feel any way? Did you get any? What was your feedback from your female friends about you doing that? Did you send the bottle in the club?
I haven't been in a club.
Okay.
Like in a privacy.
Okay.
He gonna think that you thirsty.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna think that what you looking at?
I was like, somebody's coming. Y'all know these people?
They look like they can hear. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Would you open it up, Stacey? They gonna think you thirsty.
Uh-huh.
They came for the podcast.
Okay.
They gonna think you thirsty, or they gonna think, they're not gonna.
Hello.
Hey,
how y'all doing? Welcome to the podcast. Come on in, have a seat. Yep, anywhere. Yep.
They gonna, you selling
All right.
yourself short.
Okay.
Or,
Okay.
whatever the case may be.
What made you send the guy the bottle?
Well, I didn't. It wasn't like I sent the
it.
bottle.
Okay.
It was like, okay. So I was somewhere with a guy,
Uh-huh.
and then we were having drinks,
Mm-hmm.
and I assumed before we went that because I knew his favorite drink,
Mm-hmm.
that they weren't gonna have it.
Okay.
The liquor he drank.
Okay.
So
you
it
was
a private
bossing up.
So I went and bought the bottle of the drink he liked, and I
Okay.
put it in my purse.
Got you.
And when I got there and they ain't have his drink,
Mhm.
that was my pull up. He was like, they ain't got, and I was like,
that was
"Guess-"
your flex.
I was like, guess who do have your drink? And so I had it.
Okay.
Worked well for me,
Okay.
because I've been getting action from him ever since.
Well,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? But that was me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I
Okay.
ain't feel no kind of way. It
Okay.
was like that was my statement.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
For the other ladies that are in the chat room, tell me, have you ever sent a man a drink, and how do you feel about women sending men drinks? Like, what's your position on? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate your feedback. How are you? What's your feeling on a woman sending a man a drink? Do you think that's considered thirsty, or like, where are you at with that? Like, is it okay? Or has times changed? Yeah, give me your thoughts on that. And fellas, I want to know, if a woman sent you a drink, what is your immediate thought on that? So I want to play the video to talk about the topic which brought us here today on Let's Argue. Go ahead and
Back
play
to
that.
her, man. Men judge men based off their woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden I'm like, what does that guy do? Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends. Women have to protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, there's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls, or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
All right. So we do have some people in the studio audience. Thank you for coming in. So we have some flags on the table. If you here in the building, go ahead and raise the black flag. If you want to comment, I want you to raise the green flag. If you just vehemently disagree with some of the comments in the chat or being conversed here inside the studio, go ahead and raise the red flag. And if you still want to come up and give a comment and sit in the chair here and give your thoughts, we would more than be happy to have you.
What you got to say?
So my cousin LaRonda says, yes, it's not thirsty to send a man a drink. My question is, have you ever sent a man a drink?
And I sent a man a drink that I wasn't interested in. Just to be some friends.
Okay.
That you haven't seen in a while, and then like, or somebody who has bought me a drink.
Okay.
You know,
Return the
return the
favor.
favor. So you don't have to-
So let me ask you this. If a man sent you a drink and you thought he was maybe interested in you, do you send the drink back?
What? If I think he was interested.
Yeah, say he's interested in you. That was his way of flirtation. Do you send the drink back? Not necessarily. Okay.
It depends.
On what?
That's kind of unsanitary too.
What, to send the drink back?
Yeah.
No, you just tell the barman, I don't want the drink. Yeah. How's you ain't like you sipped it and you know.
I went to sanitary.
All right. So but the question at hand is it a flex for a man for his woman to represent him well when he is not around? Is that a man's biggest flex? That is the question today. Is it a flex for a man, for a woman to represent herself well when he is not around? And the other part of that, does that door swings both ways? And if it does, I want your thoughts on that. We have people saying it works both ways. It definitely works both ways. So, cuz you said it works both ways. Why do you think that it works both ways? Now, the one thing that I definitely I agree with everything that the man said, was just that I felt like so much weight was being put on the female as far as her representation, that the man doesn't need to protect his woman. Like, he needs to protect her just as well as she needs to protect him. Cuz mentioned that earlier in the earlier part of the show, that he never mentioned anything about a man protecting his woman. He needs to protect her as well. So also the other part of the conversation, which is part 2 to this thing, who is worse when they're sick, men or women? Of course, we have all the ladies saying that men are big babies. We don't know how to function when we get sick. So fellas, I need y'all to stand up with me over here now. Help me out now. They think we don't know how to do nothing when we get sick. And we don't know how to do nothing. She said complain. I see I got a fella in the room. I need you to help me out over here, fella.
She said me and she just got here.
Oh no, bro. Come on now. It's the green one if you agree. Yeah, or the black. Green or the black.
Wait, watch this. She and me, or why is it me? What do they do?
They just lay there like they died.
Oh my God. Why is that? Is that a universal language with all women? They just lay there like they died.
What they be saying, son?
They just whine. I can't move.
You're representing each other when you're in each other's presence and when you're not.
I just acted it out.
Look, you see what she did right there? Just do what they do.
I thought I was dying. Like, no, I was throwing out stuff looking like them green flags. Like, and I was down for 11 straight days.
Look, she said, I'm so sick.
No.
But you might have been there.
That sick is a damn dog.
So here's the thing. How do y'all know how can y'all tell when we really down? Like, y'all, to me, it's almost like y'all, as soon as we get sick, we're faking.
No,
because
so what is it then?
No, it's the way y'all do it. Like, when y'all get sick, y'all like,
if you are, and I said this the last time, if y'all are not used to us getting sick, of course it's gonna seem like a big deal.
No, it's but y'all. Why do y'all want us to lay with y'all and be near y'all?
Who wants y'all to lay there with us?
I'd be like, come over here. Get over here. I'm like, we don't want to be in another room. You be like, come in here, just lay right here with me. No. Come on now. That is not the case. We don't want y'all to get sick with us. We do not want y'all to get sick with us. Everything okay? Everybody okay? All right.
Spraying you down with Lysol. Amen.
All right, so let's go ahead and play a couple of more from the game. Do we got some old school people in the building? Old school? All right, here we go. In I'm Your Puppet, what did James and Bobby Purifay say they would do when you snap your fingers? Cuz leave me alone when I'm sick. Get water and close the door behind you.
I'm not
And-
talking about drugs.
And I'm your puppet. What did James and Bobby Purify say they would do when you snap your fingers?
Snap your fingers.
No, this was generations before. We ain't told you.
No.
Turn some flips. I don't even know who that is. Okay. No, I didn't. I'm looking like, who is this? Okay. And people get ready. What did the impression say they get ready for? A, the ride, B, the train, C, the revolution, or D, the bus?
Revolution.
Wrong. The train is correct. The train is correct. All right. And reach out, I'll be there. Why may you feel they can't go on? That was right, cuz the train was correct. And reach out, I'll be there. Why may you feel they can't go on? I don't me either. And reach out.
Yeah, they went too black with that. That's a B-side.
Because all your hope is gone. Because all your hope is gone. Okay. What did friends of distinction say gazing in the grass is? Who is this? Me, right.
I'm part of that too.
This is our
That's
summer.
Maryland.
This is oldies but goodies.
That's Maryland.
These your daddy's records.
No,
What
these
did
your
friends-
granddaddy's records. Okay, my
What-
daddy's records.
What did friends of distinction say gazing in the grass is? Gas. A gas.
Okay, give us some update.
No, we're gonna stick with
Nobody
this. I'm
guessed
gonna do- What did Donnie Hathaway try to tell himself over and over again about him and Roberta Flack? Y'all know who Donnie Hathaway is, and I know y'all know who Roberta Flack is.
Back together again?
Say it again.
Back together again?
No. They could never be more than friends. All the while.
Some B-side records.
Yes. And It's Your Thing. Who did the Isley Brothers tell her to give love to? Cuz say I need you in the studio because you know these songs, huh?
Yeah.
What song?
And It's Your Thing.
Hey, do
What you want to do? Who did the Isley Brothers tell her to give love to?
Yeah. Who to talk to? It's your thing. Do what you want to do now.
How long you gonna sing that chorus?
That's all I'm talking about. That's all the song has to be hooks. It's the same hook, except for this one line and don't nobody know.
Whoever she chooses.
We knew she
Whoever she chooses. All right. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and play the video for those who are just tuning in. Give me your thoughts.
Respect to her, man. Men judge men based off their woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden I'm like, what does that guy do? Who is that guy? If a woman is showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man. That man gets talked about behind his back. That man gets invited to less places. That woman may even get more advances from people that he called his friends. Women have to protect their men. So much of it comes down to how she is when he's not around. A lot of times women think, hey, if I'm not right with my man, there's certain things that I can do because I want to do this with my girls or because this is how I feel. Women must consider at all times, is this the right thing to do if my man was around? And if it's not, then it's best not to do it.
And you keep saying that he's stuck on the way somebody comes in the room. You can have somebody come in the room, like you're saying, just stunning and elegant, and they got a pot to piss in or window to go out.
Or ain't got a lick of sense. For sure.
Absolutely.
Or ain't got a lick of sense. So yeah, I think
But he used a word that we all missed. He said with class. And that don't have nothing to do
He
with
said, look like they got class.
Right, but he did with class. That's all we do is look like it until
You
we
can look right
Until
until you open your mouth.
until you open your mouth.
Until you open your
Until
mouth.
absolutely until you open your mouth.
Anyway.
Definitely until you open your mouth. So what and I think part of the question was I asked is not only the original question was, is that a man's biggest flex, but is that a woman's biggest flex? Or is that a man's biggest flex either way for his woman to represent herself well when he's not around and for him to represent himself when she's not around. So I really want to get some feedback from the men. Like, how do you feel about this? Common sense is not always common. It is not, because you're absolutely right. And we was having a conversation about this as well. I definitely want to try to stick to the subject at hand, but common sense is not always common. I think for me, as far as common sense is concerned, it's common sense, of course, not to walk into traffic. But is that common sense for a baby? They don't know. I think your common sense is based off your personal life experience. Like I think it's common sense when somebody does something nice for you to say thank you. Some people may not consider that to be common sense. I was talking to a guy who's in the military, and he was saying that people shower differently based on their geographical area. But in the military, I found this shocking. They tell you exactly what they want you to do. Now, what you do when you get in the shower is something completely different, but they lay it out for you. So I say all that to say, common sense may not necessarily be what I may consider to be common sense based off your life experience, how you deal with things. Because some people, Oh, you from the military?
No. Just not.
Okay. Well, no, what I was going to say is some people do you know there's some people who don't wash up with a washcloth?
Yes.
Okay. You shower differently. Some people just take the soap and put it on there. Some people use a loofah. Some people just wet themselves. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Funny you said that. So look, this guy asked
But currently don't.
Yeah, and some people don't shower.
Look, this guy asked me, he said, your skin looks so good. He said, what do you do? The funniest thing ever. He said, what do you do? I said, I ain't never used the washcloth on my face. He said, oh, you nasty. Look, I thought I was doing something. He said, your skin. I said, yeah, I ain't never washcloth ain't never touched my face. He said, oh, you nasty.
You never put a washcloth on your face?
In my life.
Wow.
Not on my face. Not on my face. I had. So,
fellas, I do want to get some of because the ladies have been definitely giving their feedback. I want to get the fellas' feedback on this particular topic. Do you think is it a man's biggest flex? You want to come up? Come on up. Come on over here. Yeah, come on over here, brother. Is it a man's biggest flex how his woman represents herself when he's not around? Give me your thoughts. What's your name? Marty. All right, Marty. Oh, Marty.
Why you say that?
Never change subject. All right. So, what's your take on this, Marty? On this subject matter?
My take on it goes both ways.
Okay.
I think definitely it's harder for a man to represent himself because he has a lot of pressure.
And what pressure is this that did you think that women
We're
don't
gonna
have?
say like peer pressure.
Okay.
Say that.
Okay.
You know, because you might be with the homies or whatever.
Okay.
And they'll be like, well, dog, you know, she on you, dog, you know, and
okay.
You sitting there like, I'm gonna be an outstanding family man, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you looking like, damn, she look good, you know? But some people succumb to it.
But you know your friends though, right?
Yeah,
you know your friends. Okay.
But I don't succumb to peer pressure either.
Right. But I think as men, we know our friends. So you know which friends that gonna maybe is not gonna pull you in if they see you doing something wrong. And you know the ones that
I don't care either way. Because I'm gonna do this is my thing. I'm gonna do what I wanna do. So you can say whatever you want to say.
Right.
It's up to me to ultimately do what I want to do or not want to do.
Right. And what do you think the representation of what about do you think the way he described it is the weight for a woman to represent herself to protect her man? Do you think that's slightly the way he portrayed it is more heavily weighted on a woman?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So you think that should be, as far as a man, because you did mention that a man should definitely represent himself when his woman is not around. Like it's an indication of it speaks to her as well, to
Right.
how he represents himself when she is not around.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. So we do I want to play a couple more games before we close
All
things
right,
out.
all right.
I'm gonna have you read, and I need you to hush from the peanut gallery. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna give you some ones I think you may know, that these people may know. Here you go.
Okay, where does Mary Jane take Rick James?
On a natural high?
Mm-mm. And that's it.
Yeah.
I see paradise.
All right.
You need to be answering. You know that.
Okay, in cruising, where does Smokey Robinson want to cruise away from?
Yeah. Away from here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Thank you so much, Marty. I
All
appreciate
right,
your
all
participation today. All right.
All right.
So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Let's Argue. Go ahead if you are go to YouTube. So we're trying to get our views up so we can actually stream live from YouTube from the actual So Let's Argue page. So I definitely need you to go to the the Facebook page and like the page so we can get our viewership and we can actually stream from there. As right now we're just streaming from YouTube, but we want to stream from Facebook as well. So go to the Facebook page, Let's Argue. Go ahead and like the page, subscribe to the page, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can get our viewers up there. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a great conversation. It was we had some fun. If you're interested in a nice space to have a formal or informal gathering with your friends, you also got to check out the space here. It's called the Velvet Room. I'm gonna have the owner go ahead and put her information in here so you guys can reach out to her. And it's a very nice space. Definitely, if you want something looking to do something with just say you and your people, she describes it as a personal lounge. So I'll let her give you the Kaya. Why don't you come up real quick and just kind of tell people about your space, what some of the things that you offer here at the Velvet Room.
Hey guys, we outside. Let's argue. Thank you so much, Al, for always hosting here. at the
Absolutely,
Velvet
thank
Room.
you.
So the Velvet Room is located at 3348 West 12 Mile Road, Berkeley, Michigan, and that's between Coolidge and Greenfield. You can't really see the whole venue, but it's a really, really quaint venue. And it's a private lounge, so you can rent it out for whatever, for your own party, birthday party, for fight night, for watch parties for the Lions, for podcasts, baby showers, private dinner, anything intimate where you want 40 people or less. The Velvet Room is the place to be. We have bar service here where we can offer spirit packages. We have you name it, we can do it here. Like I said, if you want intimate, we're the place to be. And you can have bookings, showings, and tastings by contacting 313-641-2142. Again, that's 313-641-2142. And this Sunday, as a matter of fact, we'll be here for the Lions watch party. It is a late game. It'll be a full bar, and it's open. Put your Lions gear on. Come in. It's free to get in. And we're right here again at the Velvet Room. So thanks again, Al.
Thank you so very much. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. All right, guys. So we're going to close it out here. I thank everybody for who showed up and who showed up in the virtual studio. We appreciate you. We're going to close it out here. Until then, I'll see you next time.